Hello, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction specialist. And remember my word of caution, this is not my day job. I'm not a professional interviewer, but what I'm trying to do is support and promote local businesses across social media. And today I have with me Chris DeBari. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you, William, very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure as well. So to kick the show off and let people learn a little bit about you, I'm going to just give an overview and then we'll get straight into some questions. So Chris is, Christopher, attorney Christopher DeBari is with the law offices of CDB, injury law, a personal injury and criminal law practice. So Chris, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you get into this type of legal practice.
Well, I've been in practice for about 21 years now as an attorney in Florida. I'm originally from New Jersey, a little shore town in New Jersey called Point Pleasant, where I grew up. Attended college at Montclair State University, where I majored in English and became an attorney because it's really something I was interested in because it gives me the ability to sort of use my abilities, my talents to help people. And particularly people who've been injured and really need somebody to be an advocate and a friend and an ear for the problems, somebody who's going to aggressively and effectively pursue their claims so that they can have the things that they need. And I got into the profession because it interests me, and my older brother is an attorney and he encouraged me and things like that. And 21 years later, here we are.
So it's kind of in the blood. So, Chris, tell me, there's many personal injury lawyers out there. I mean, there's tons and tons of them. Why would somebody choose to work with you? And kind of like as a kind of add on to that question, where does the criminal law practice fit into your whole legal practice?
Oh, well, you have a lot of choices as far as personal injury lawyers. I mean, if you drive down the highway, you see my competition and a lot of my friends on billboards. Now, while they may be everywhere on billboards, I am literally everywhere for my clients doing what they need. Mm-hmm. You will deal with me and not with a case manager. I don't pass you off to somebody else. You get the advantage of a smaller firm that can actually work your case personally and interact with you personally, really get to know you well. And if I know you well, then I can present your case a lot better. Many times with the bigger firms, you're going to not even know who your lawyer is until many months into the process, and certainly not have access to them on a 24/7 basis like you do with me. So that's a major reason why. And I think it gives people a lot of feeling of being self-assured and a lot of confidence, knowing that the buck isn't passed. Like, here's your attorney, it's me. And you can reach me and talk to me with questions. Many clients have come to me from bigger firms saying, yeah, I really regret having signed up with them. I didn't even know who my lawyer was.
Yeah, I would get that. The personal touch, it's kind of like any business owner. If you're working with the owner of the business, you're going to get a higher level of service guaranteed because they're totally invested in the business. And the kind of other part to that question was, where does the criminal law fit into the injury law practice?
Well, they're sort of separate. I started my career as a prosecutor, and criminal law is sort of a natural sort of fit for somebody to defend that's prosecuted. The criminal and the personal injury are kind of different. They're just two areas I specialize in. They're not really related, and they're very different as far as what they demand from you. But it's part of my practice. It's a smaller part, but I've got 21 years experience in handling criminal cases. So I think I'm pretty good at it.
So what does it look like working with your practice? If I'm a client and I come to you, what does that process look like, and what does the fee structure look like?
Well, the process is, the first thing we do is we talk. We sit down. I basically explain in really fine detail exactly what the process is going to be like, what you can expect, what you will need to do. And essentially, you get better and I do the rest. We discuss the medical treatment, the need to consistently treat. We discuss what the process is like as far as interacting with the insurance companies, because they're a very big part of this. And I am the go-between, and I am the person that insulates and protects my client from otherwise being taken advantage of by corporate interest. So that's a very important part of what I do, and something that I acquaint the clients with, and basically take them through that process. As far as the fee structure is concerned, typically speaking, in criminal cases, I charge a retainer And if the retainer is exhausted, then I bill an hourly rate above the retainer. Now, personal injury is a little bit different. In the state of Florida, we are not allowed to represent you in personal injury cases any other way than on a contingent basis. Mm-hmm. So I can't charge you by the hour for my work. I can't charge you for the hour by retainer for my work. I can only recover if you recover. That's the contingency. So typically speaking, we charge a third, 33 and a third, for any settlement pre-suit of the gross amount of the settlement. That's pretty standard across the industry. 40% if we're in litigation, and that's all up to $1 million. And it's a sliding scale downward in terms of the fees once you reach the higher numbers. But for the most part, people's cases are not $1 million cases, which is good because those are horrible cases. You don't want to be a plaintiff in $1 million case. It means that you've been very, very badly injured. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting that as the numbers go up, your fees go down. And also, as a layperson, anybody watching this video, I didn't know that was part of the law in Florida. I just thought that's how personal injury lawyers work, because it's how we work in Schooley Mitchell. We do our expense reduction audits. We don't charge any fees until we're successful and gaining lower prices for our clients. But it's kind of like how we do it. There's no legality forcing us to do that way. I didn't actually realize that with personal injury law, it is the law to not charge any fees and only do it on a contingency basis. That's interesting. So anybody watching this, if you've learned something, if you didn't know that, you know it now. And by the way, please contact Chris at his details below. Chris is actually a personal friend of mine, as well as an excellent lawyer in his areas. I highly recommend his services. I highly recommend Chris. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he really does give you that personal touch. So I've just had an injury, or I think I've had an injury. I think I might need a lawyer. So when should somebody approach a lawyer, and what does that look like?
Right away. And I'm not just saying that, but really right away. And there's a reason for that. There are things that have to be done right away. Evidence has to be gathered, has to be preserved, and evidence will disappear. The identity of witnesses will disappear. There are those things I encourage people to do at, say, the scene of an accident, to get photographs of the vehicle, get the identity of people that may be witnesses. But, obviously, the quicker you hire an attorney, the better off you are in terms of posture, because the insurance companies start working against you the minute the accident happens. So you need somebody working for you. As far as medical treatment is concerned, as it relates to that, you have 14 days to seek treatment under Florida law, under the no-fault statute. So unless you want to lose use of your no-fault benefits in an auto case, treat within 14 days with a medical provider. But as far as when you contact an attorney, that's different. You really should do that right away. Shouldn't hesitate, because at the very least, you're getting good information, whether you contact me or another attorney.
Yeah, and before my final thought and my final question, Chris, just on the medical part, the medical person that you need to see after an accident within 14 days, that can be like a medical doctor, a chiropractor. That's the kind of person you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, it extends pretty far. It can be a medical doctor, an osteopathic doctor, a chiropractor, a dentist, a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, a licensed massage therapist. These are all practitioners that are allowed to bill no-fault insurance, and all of whom would be acceptable to see within the first 14 days.
So these people are effectively verifying, there's an injury sustained, and this is what the injury is that we're treating.
Yeah, and with the changes in the law in 2012, that became necessary, whereas for 25 years before that it wasn't, but now it is. So, we have to abide by it. But fortunately, if you go to the ER, that's automatic. You're at the ER within the day after. So it does encourage people to treat, because that's really the only thing the law requires a person to do, is make themselves better and not get worse, so they don't become a burden on society. And that's socially a good thing to prevent that from happening.
Well, thanks, Chris. That's really good information for any viewers watching this video to understand how it works. And again, please reach out to Chris at his details below. Please like and share this on social media. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, where this video will be, as well as all the other places. And as a final thought, Chris, what does success look like working with you in particular as a personal injury / criminal lawyer?
Honestly, success is a whole, happy, satisfied client. And that's pretty much it. You know, I'm able to do for my clients what they need, able to make them whole, make them as happy as they can be made, make sure that they have the things they're going to need in life moving forward after a tragedy occurs. And if I can do that, then I am successful.
So essentially, success is the person being as whole as they possibly can be after that trauma or injury.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So again, anybody watching this video, please reach out to Chris at his details below. Chris, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And what a wonderful educational session this has been.
Oh, pleasure to be here, William. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, Chris. I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.